Well, hello there and good morning to you all. So, this will now be my Bleach 579 review entitled The Undead 6. And well, it's good to see Bleach returning after 1 week. I think that probably it was the so-called Golden Week in Japan. So last week there was no Bleach chapter, but luckily we do have one Bleach chapter um, today. So basically, this chapter kinda is the closing uh, to the battle between Grammy and Zaraki. And in this, in the first half of the chapter, we have Grammy uh, speaking his dying words, his last words, with Zaraki. And he basically comes to the conclusion that he did not lose against Seraki because of his power, but basically because when he tried to, in a way, imagine the power of Seraki kinda inside of him or him morphing with the goal of using the power that is contained in Zaraki's own body. Basically, his body crumbled and was not able to support that level of power. Eventually, as the figure of Grammy vanishes, we kind of see that brain inside kind of a box appears and is the only thing that remains. And apparently, it appears to me that basically Grammy is a manifestation of that brain that basically designs Grammy's body to be able to fight um, something along those lines. So this is all strange with this guy. But before he vanishes, he does reckon that he is going to die. So even if the brain remains, I guess that the brain died even if remain in the physical plane or in the physical world. But before he dies, he says that from now on he will have just to imagine a world where there is no imagination. And these are his final words. So after that comes the most important aspect of the story, in my opinion, because we have Zaraki, he is wounded and such, and basically he kind of remembers to call for Yashiro, and she does not answer. And when Zaraki is kind of searching for her, and then a bunch of guys of Squad 11 appeared, um, Zaraki steps in the uniform of Yashiro in her Shikansho with their badge of lieutenant. and he does not understand what's going on, and basically he orders these guys that appear to go search for her. uh, they go and then they are blasted by a lightning strike or lightning something, and that bench that was with Bambietta, the girls, the groupies, the four appear, and apparently they are going to fight against Saraki. I don't know, I guess so. But basically that's the chapter. But now, to the important part of the chapter, in my opinion. Why is Yashiro gone? Because we never see Grammy kill her. Uh, and unless she was killed during the fallout of the meteorite parts all around Ceratay, or in that huge blast that the Grammys, the clones of Grammys did, I don't see her being killed, because if she was killed, I guess even if her Shikansho, her uniform remained, it will be soaked in blood, and it did not appear to me that was the case. So, what is my opinion about Yashiro? My opinion about Yashiro is related with the last words that Grammy did, or that Grammy spoke, when he says that he, from now on, will imagine a world where there is no imagination. So, I guess, and it kind of makes sense, that Yashiro could be a product, in a way, of Zaraki's own imagination. Uh, because we do already see a character in Bleach that basically split himself into two, and it was Coyote Star, the Arrancar Espada number one. And we learn in his backstory that because of the he being so powerful, and all the others hollows that tried to group with him or follow him were instantly killed by his Reiatsu or spirit powers, to fight against the lowliness of his life. He basically created another part of his own soul and became Lilynet, or Lilynet becomes Stark. That was always kinda easy. But nonetheless, Lilynet and Stark were only one. So I think that when we did see the flashback about Zaraki in the past, and I think that in the last chapter or two chapters ago, Yashiro also did have kind of a small flashback about the time she met Zaraki, um, and she was thinking the first time she met him. Uh, I think that it's quite possible that since Zaraki was so powerful and it did not have any name, some way in that forest long ago, he kinda create a little girl basically to fight against his own lowliness. I know this affirmation can be strange, but it's possible, it's not impossible. Also, the power that kinda Yashiro used when she activated her Shikai, even Izane at the time commented that she never saw any type of power with that ability. So, my point is, I might be wrong, but I think that when Grammy says that from now on there will be a world where there is no imagination, basically when he disappeared, um, all that existed in this world disappeared alongside him. And if Yashiro is in fact a manifestation, a product of Zaraki's own imagination, it's possible that with the dying of Grammy, all the things and stuff that Quincy's, Shinigamis, and others usually imagined, they disappeared alongside Grammy. So it's possible that this is the explanation why Yashir disappeared without any traces of blood. Because she could be, in a way, I don't know exactly how, but she could be a product of Zaraki's own imagination. Maybe. But we will have to see, because if all the Quincy's or the powers of the Quincy's are related with Jua, it is possible that after Jua being killed, or Yawa, because I do prefer Jua, it's easier. Uh, those that mean that when Yah is killed, all the Quincy powers that affected others, including Grammy's own power, uh, his effects will disappear, and for instance, Yashiro can come back into existence, or the fact that Grammy died means that from now on, even if Yahweh is defeated, Yahweh is defeated, all the ones that died or the ones that were affected by Quincy powers continue under the effect of those powers. And this also could mean another thing. If Yashiro is in fact the product of Zaraki imagination and disappeared because Grammy says that there will be a world where there is no imagination, and even after he died, his power continues working. Could this mean that his power is still working on Rose and Kansei, and they are actually dead and will stay in that way? I don't know, but for me, This situation with Yashiro is the most interesting one of this chapter. Now, as expectations for the future, I don't know. Will Kubo will continue, let's say, the Undead series with the fight of Zaraki against the groupies, or will he go to another fight? I do prefer, honestly, that he kind of spent one, two, or three chapters more in showing us the battle with Zaraki and this group, and actually show us if they have, or if her they have any power, because the group, there are only the four girls, not Bambieta. So, like I did say, um, between in the fight in the end of the fight between Bambieta and Komamura, I'm still honestly thinking that these girls kind of dispatched Bambieta after she being defeated by Komamura. Um, but now I'm curious to see if this group of girls also, um, if Yashiro is a product of the imagination of Zaraki and she disappeared, these girls are there at the end. So at the time with Bambieta, there were some theories saying that these girls could be imagination or part of the powers of Bambieta and such. But they are here. They appeared. So probably most likely they are actual quincies, real real ones, not imaginary ones. So this also is good in that way. But that's it. This is my review and talks for Bleach 579. Hope you enjoy. Stay well, peace, and see you soon.